Hello everyone, my name is Aiden Shanahan and I'm a current student at Fresno State University. I'm currently working on my bachelor's in architectural studies and my minor in construction management. After I complete my senior year, I hope to get a master's in historic preservation within a university in California. After I get both my degrees, I hope to work at a firm that specializes in adaptive reuse projects because I have a deep interest within architectural history and I want to be able to take these old buildings that have been left abandoned and breathe new life into them, whether it's through businesses or affordable housing for the whole community. So today we're going to discuss why all new public school bond measures in California should include project labor agreements. So what is the current landscape of public school funding for pre-K to 12th grade? And let's start with how a public school bond measure works. So a public school bond measure is a method of borrowing employed by school districts to pay for a large capital investment. They are important because schools do not receive funding from the state, so they require citizens to vote on bonds to get funding for programs, new or updated facilities, materials, salaries, and much more. So what is the current funding of schools within California? Well, within 2020, we ranked 33rd in the nation for per pupil spending. That is trailing very far behind many states. So we are spending $13,686 per student in state and local funding. That was $1,760 below the national average of $15,446, about half the size of New York's pure pupil funding, which is $26,605. And right here I have a few graphs and charts just depicting our funding level throughout the years. And the bottom chart actually shows that within California, it shows that we rank ninth for funding distribution, which is actually good because we are distributing funds that to communities that need it more than our lower poverty districts. So within California, we spend 20% more on per student spending for our high poverty districts. What is in a project labor agreement, or also known as a PLA? So, PLAs are a pre-hire collective bargaining agreement negotiated between one or more construction union and one or more construction employer that establishes the terms and conditions of employment for a specific construction project. They also include set wages, benefits, working conditions, and dispute resolution, so everyone knows what they are getting when they hire on. What are the benefits of PLAs? So some overview of PLA benefits are cost savings, improve worker safety and health, ensure projects are efficient and completed within a timely manner, a higher quality of work, and streamlined administration. So let's go a little more into detail about these. So PLAs organize complex construction projects and ensure that they're efficient and timely completion. Because PLAs usually contain no strike, no lockout clauses, they eliminate delays associated with labor unrest. Project labor agreements are known for streamlining the administration of large projects by requiring all parties to enter into one agreement. On a complex project, contractors may end up working with multiple trade unions, with varying work rules and individual collective bargaining agreements. Without one universal agreement, contractors might end up negotiating individual collective bargaining agreements with each trade union. PLAs eliminate these issues through coordination under one agreement. PLAs also lead to improved worker safety and health. They often contain specific provisions laying out required safety training and improved worker awareness. They also help workers know that they can exercise their right to accompany an OSHA inspector who is conducting an OSHA inspection. PLAs provide skilled workers for projects and support programs that maintain and grow a diverse skilled workforce. Most PLAs will include provisions requiring contractors to hire workers through union hiring halls, ensuring that all referred workers are qualified. And right here we have a image depicting the Port of Seattle PLA competitive bidding and stabilized construction costs. So for Port of Seattle, 23 projects covered by PLAs versus 70 projects that did not have PLAs. Bid competition is at 4.3 bids per project on PLAs versus 3.7 bids for non-PLA projects. Construction costs for PLAs have no effect after accounting for the project size and complexity, and they award below engineers' estimate of 74% on PLA projects versus non-PLA projects. So that means that they're coming in cheaper. Economic and community benefits of PLAs. So two economic and community benefits are job creation and workforce development. So, PLAs contain clauses stating that apprentices must accompany journey workers on projects providing critical opportunities for trade entrants to gain necessary skills. They might also contain provisions related to pre-apprentices, guaranteeing their exposure to construction work. PLAs may also fund registered apprenticeship programs via joint labor management partnerships where both unions and employers invest in development of skilled workers. So again, I have another image and it focuses on analysis of Port of Seattle projects. And it revealed that PLA's covered projects had 5% more labor hours worked by apprentices than non-PLA projects. Project labor agreement covered projects are 23% more likely to achieve apprenticeship utilization goals than non-PLA projects. They also covered projects as twice as likely to meet women apprenticeship goals at 55% compared to non-PLA projects at 29%. And people of color account for a larger share of apprenticeship hours on PLA-covered projects compared to non-PLA projects. So PLA projects increase apprenticeship training, expand construction career opportunities to disadvantaged workers. This is beneficial to the community because it stimulates the economy and it's getting that economy more trained within this industry. So let's address some counter-arguments. So two counter-arguments are PLAs may limit competition and they incur additional costs. Let's start with the first one. So PLAs can attract more bidders by providing a standardized set of work rules, wages, and benefits for all contractors on our project, which can reduce uncertainty and risk for potential bidders, potentially leading to a larger pool of interested companies, including both union and non-union contractors, willing to compete for this project. This can be especially beneficial for large complex construction projects where consistent labor practices are crucial for timely completion and cost control. Additional costs are said to happen under PLAs, which sometimes upfront costs do tend to be a little bit higher due to set contract agreements. But the overall long-term savings that PLAs provide are there's no worried about not meeting the deadline due to worker strike because there should be no dispute over what workers are being paid since it's agreed upon between at the beginning of hiring. And it saves costs for worker injury mistakes because you have qualified workers and you have workers that are aware of health safety regulations, and there's OSHA inspectors to make sure everything is running smoothly. Current PLA project within California. So Oakland Unified School District, the people within that district voted on using a PLA for their Madison Park Academy Facilities project, which received money through Bond Measure L. So the goal of the project was over 50% of the total project hours are worked by Oakland residents, and a 100% goal of all apprenticeship hours worked by Oakland residents. So this project first got funding from the bond measure in 2018. Then they decided on using a PLA in 2019, and ground broke finally within late 2022, early 2023, and they're almost done with the project. And they've gone through it with no errors, no mistakes, and it's been a pretty smooth project for them. And the reason why this is important too is that they set these goals is because it's making sure Oakland residents are coming first for work, and it helps stimulate the community that way. And it's making sure the residents are being trained anyone who wants to learn within the industry, they're being trained on these hours. So when this project's over, we'll have more workers within that community. In conclusion, PLAs offer cost savings, increased efficiency, a higher quality of work, job creation, and workforce development. Thank you for listening to my project today, and I did link my references in case anyone wants to delve in more about PLAs, bond measures, and what they mean for the community, union workers, non-union workers, and construction companies. All these articles are pretty in-depth and pretty interesting, so I would implore you to go in and explore them a little more if you'd like. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and have a good day.